Well, what's up? I'm still half asleep, so y'all are gonna have to bear with me. But I guess first thing we gotta review today is the fact that we are gonna be hosting the first underground tournament. So we got a challenge page, challenge with an O. And the first game we're gonna be playing is Tekken 5 DR for PC online on RPCS3. Now Parsec is optional. Kinda nervous about the whole thing because we all know how laggy DR can get with no rollback netcode, but rather have a tournament scene than have nothing at all. So these are this tournament is going to be regionally locked to the US and the EU. So sorry Asia and everywhere else, but I don't think you'd want to play it anyway because the lag would be completely fucking horrendous. Just saying. And again, Parsec will be an option if players want to opt to use Parsec instead. You know, both players consent to do it. They can do that if it would reduce lag and make the game go a little bit smoother, because RPCS3 is not very cooperative and neither is the DR netcode. We really need rollback for this fucking game. Blame Harada. So right now we got 5 players that are joining, and the title of the tournament series from here on out is going to be the Underground Beatdown. We're going to have try to do bi-weekly tournaments. Might throw in a couple of random tournaments in the middle, and I also want to see some money matches. To my knowledge, over the past several years, I don't think there has been a Legacy Tekken money match. So if you are salty over another player and you want to duke it out and you want to put $5, $10 on the line, let us record that shit. And as a matter of fact, too, I might be taking some pieces of my paycheck and putting them down as prize pots, you know, maybe like $10, $15, $25, $35 for these tournaments. And I think that would be a creative way to give back to the community, at least a little bit. It'll pay for your gas. So we could give that a shot. But what else we got to cover? On the topic of new features for the Underground, talked last episode about putting down a new page for people to list their offline scenes, like local scenes. If you have a scene in your area, like some kind of venue, or even you do like meetups at your house, to play any Legacy Tekken games, that's Tekken 1 through Tag 2. We're making a listing page for people who want to do local scenes. So it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world, we're going to make a section at TekkenUnderground.com called Underground Network. And if you're interested in listing, you know, your place or your venue as like a host and like giving some rudimentary contact information, you don't need to totally dox yourself, but like a method of contact like Discord or phone number if you're like a console arcade or some shit like that, or you meet up at a console arcade, you can give those details to me. You know, you could DM me on Discord or hit me up on the Tekken Underground Discord server, and we'll put you down on the list as like a venue or a host for for a Legacy Tekken scene. I know that over here in my state, I'm going to be doing that, because I've been meeting up with DJ Silly Legs to play DR and Tekken 6. I'd like to see more faces around here in the state of Alabama playing these games. And I don't know, maybe in the future for Underground, maybe we could get a venue. It's always been a dream of mine to see people like at a venue where we could, you know, party, fucking drink, play some Tekken. I think that would be cool as shit. So I kind of hope that we can go somewhere networking these games in the future, because there are a lot more of us who play these games than we think. We all just haven't reached out to each other properly. So any way that we can reach out to each other, whether it's, you know, online or offline, is always good. But I always encourage offline Tekken wherever you are. Like those guys that do Tag 1 in arcades and have like big meetups over in Peru and in Korea. That's where this scene should be going. You know, you got people who are traveling across the world to go find other players who play these games. That's where this scene should be going. We should see that kind of activity again. Just because these games are old doesn't mean they're not fun. So hopefully some of the new features with Underground Network and getting the word out there will promote some more of that activity. I really pray. What else we got? Oh yeah. So apparently, I don't want to do too much gossiping, but apparently there has been a setback for the release of Tag 1. I don't know. The developer of Arkadyzja Rin is a little bit of a baby, but I won't go any further than that. So the initial release, like 2 weeks hence from the last episode, is probably not going to come through. He's setting it back because he wants to implement some additional features that may prevent repacking. We're not entirely sure, but hopefully he has a change of heart, and regardless of whether or not he does, hopefully his work goes well for him and y'all can get access to that game as quickly as possible, because I'm pretty sure the Tag 1 release, regardless of which way the wind blows, is going to be very hype. The folks over at Hanmaru and Arkadyzja have put a lot of work into it, and Masta has been leaking out some footage of the gameplay, and it looks like it's going to be pretty hype. I mean, this shit looks sick. So, looking forward to great things regardless, but it looks like, yeah, for Arkadyzja, it looks like it's going to be, you know, according to Ren, a couple months in advance, but you'll have to ask him about that and see what's going on with that. So I guess we covered everything. I think so. There was one thing that I wanted to make this whole episode about. It was based on a conversation I had with Hikari in the Tekken Underground Discord server. And I don't think anybody's ever really mentioned it before. I know that across the web, on, you know, it's been, whether it's been on YouTube or in small articles, I've seen some interest in Tekken's prototype names. I think the two of them were Rave War and Kamui. But when I looked up information about why Namco was potentially naming Tekken Rave War, I didn't really find information about the name. It's kind of up in the air. You know, some people say the name's cringe. I actually think it would have been kind of cool, but no reason was really given as to why. But I often wonder, I could be wrong, but I often wonder if the name Rave War had to do with the choice of musical aesthetic for the early Tekken games. Not a lot of people familiar with it, but Tekken released a series of exclusive remix albums from 1996 up until around 1998, I believe. I think there were remixes that were featured on later Tekken game soundtracks, but I think the want to do entire remix albums, like the ones I'm about to show you in a bit, seemed to have you know, it dwindled. You know, it was no longer like a market strategy. I don't know if it was really like a primary market strategy or if it was just for like a ton of fun, because the sound designers for Tekken really seemed to have a lot of fun, and it looks like they had a lot of fun promoting Tekken through this, I guess what you would call, underground rave culture musical channel. Because there's some artists like Lemon D and Banana Republic that make an appearance on these albums. You know, major UK jungle and major UK garage producers. I say major, but you know, they're fairly known. They circulated around the time. We tend to remember the 90s for a lot more like commercial stereotypes, but the gold in the 90s was the pervasiveness of independent music. Independent music was the thing, and it was, depending on what region you went to, you could just find a treasure trove of timeless fucking tracks, especially in the electronic music scene. You find a treasure trove of these really unique bands. And people were very social at the time, so when you got into a clique, trading music was, you know, it was a bit of like an insider thing. When something was released or when a band was obscure, it was a very niche social activity to go and like trade music with your friends, or if you hung out at like a particular spot like a coffee shop or bar or whatever, people would pass burnt discs around and shit like that. So it looks like Tekken during their early period wanted to target this music scene a bit and kind of help the game circulate. And a lot of people who kind of rave against the fans' desire for a callback to the more grittier, subtle, artistic textures of Tekken tend to forget that this was, you know, these were Tekken's roots. So I want you guys to take a look at this. This was a Tekken 1 remix album that was released on vinyl on September 28th, 1996. And it's got some really fucking nasty jungle tracks on it. Like, these tracks are fucking awesome as shit. I'm gonna play a couple in a second. But right off the bat, Tekken had a target demographic. It was a gritty game, you know, a dark game. It was not, you know, polished, it wasn't clean, it wasn't loud, it wasn't ostentatious. It was dark, it was very subtle, it was very dirty, very, very underground, very low key. You know, it's a culture that we kind of like to keep alive over here in our circle. But some of these tracks, like I said before, they're timeless. You know, they're not the same kind of you know, very clean, very well produced electronica that you're used to hearing today. You know, people call this shit EDM or whatever. It's like, nah, it's kind of garbage. Now this it's a very interesting industrial sounds in the early techno and jungle scene that gave it something really, it gave it a very foreboding texture. Give it a listen. Like, this is a sick as fuck jungle track. And you gotta be honest, if somebody's gonna get their ass whooped on the street, this is what it's gonna sound like. It's pretty filthy. So yeah, I mean, like, right off the bat, you have got fucking bangers, you know, on these albums. And, you know, these definitely go on my fucking fight playlist. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what y'all listen to, but if I want to whoop somebody's ass, I want to hear this. For sure. I mean, it ain't all beats on these records, too. They're really deep, beautiful, ambient moments. They're just really, really nice. Really fucking nice. I don't know, would y'all listen to this shit in 2025? Because, I mean, I still play this shit. I still play shit like this all the time. And it'll be bumping out of my car, out of the windows of my fucking car, too. Like, the year does not determine my taste in music, not for sure. Yeah, everything down to the motherfucking bass line, all the subtle little hooks and shit. There's been a lot of thought, a lot of soul that was put into these tracks, and you don't really hear shit that sounds like this anymore. You know, Tekken gets a good amount of reputation alone from its official soundtracks, what we hear in game, because what we hear in game is fucking awesome. You know, especially between Tekken's 1 through Tag 2, amazing fucking soundtrack. Tekken 7 had some fucking bangers in there as well. But, like, I feel like you get so much deeper into the soul of the creation. And not only that, but I feel like a lot of Tekken's musical designers, their musical engineers, they were probably frequenting the rave scene. The early rave scene from, you know, 92 onward. Especially when you hear some of the remixes that were made for the Tekken 2 Striker ranges, which I'll play in a bit. You know, those tracks are fucking... They just sound amazing, and they sound like they have a lot of influences from the kind of break house that you would hear around the time. Break house and acid house. Yeah, this shit... Classic UK jungle. Signature UK jungle. Yeah, there's some fucking hard hitters, for sure. Next I want to take a look at... Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the Tekken 2 Striker ranges. Now, I could not even find a Discogs post on this. You know, even Discogs has the NGO Tekken album that was released on vinyl in 1996, but I cannot find a Discogs post for this album in particular. I know I've seen one for sale on eBay, and on YouTube there are some credits for the tracks that are posted that have like a serial number and shit like that. Some album art, I think it included like a calendar. Shit's not loading. But this album, Tekken 2 Striker Ranges, was released on the 21st of August, 96. And it is pretty avant-garde. It almost has some kind of like Goa vibes to it. But there are two tracks on it that I really absolutely loved. And a lot of these too, when I was younger, these albums, they were even obscure to me. You know, I didn't really find out about a lot of these tracks until... How did I find out about this shit? I think it was watching Triple A's combo videos on YouTube. That's actually how I found out. Like, I heard these for the first time. There was a remix of Yoshimitsu's Head Shaker on it, and I was like, this is fucking sick. And I remember picking that track up on LimeWire as a kid. Tekken OnlyFans says, I like T1 and T2 music, so old, raw style and awesome bangers. Heihachi theme, my god, and King's theme. Yeah, Kazuya. Yeah, they hit different. And you can get... You know, to me, I'm not too preferential in music. There are definitely things I like to listen to, but I can tell, even when I'm listening to a genre I don't particularly prefer, I can tell when it's been made well. Like, you know when you're listening to, like, the epitome of something. And it seemed like Tekken at the time, they were tapping into, you know, the heart of electronic music. They weren't just making something commercial. These were people who were actually interested in the music that they were producing. They weren't, you know, it wasn't like clickbait commercial music, you know, the early equivalent of it. It wasn't just to snag you in. It wasn't just to hook you in. It was genuinely meant to sound good. So the producers that were making this shit actually fucking liked it. They really enjoyed it. And you'll hear it in the tone of the music. You hear that pickup after that motherfucking bass line, that shit is heavy. And it's so beautiful too. There's even like a vocal in here, like a really fucking haunting vocal. And I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's moving, it's sublime. Yeah, I had to let that one play out a little bit. That's a really fucking big favorite of mine from that album. Dennis Jennings says, part of it was the birth of CD-ROM technology. There was always a great game BGM OST, but 16-bit limited people to MIDI. With PSX, folks got to really flex their muscles in a way that they never could before. Oh yeah, I totally agree. When we got CD sound in video games, it was like a really big thing. And I know that a lot of people were trying to say, you know, this is what you can do with a video game, you know. It's not just a video game. You can have a whole fucking soundtrack on this motherfucker. So yeah, I totally agree that it was a big selling point. I think that Tekken took it such a step further, though, because they were releasing these peripheral remix albums. Like, these tracks, they're not even included on any of the games. And they're just so damn beautiful. You know, they were meant to be... They were meant to stand alone. Like, these were meant to stand alone. This remix of Dance of the East for Beck's Tekken 2 stage is also a really big favorite of mine. As a matter of fact, over here at Tekken Underground, we're working on a remix of this very track. You know, hopefully I'll be out with that soon. See, when you hear shit like this, don't you just want to fucking close your eyes and let go? That's what I mean Early electronica hits different. Yeah, Glitchy, you said music is drugs. Yeah, that drop is fucking sick as shit, for real. I mean, yeah, you're right, music is drugs. I feel high listening to this on and off drugs, so. I mean, I love shit like this. I grew up listening to shit like this. To have this music wedded to the Tekken atmosphere for me is just the absolute epitome of awesome, you know. It's shit like this that made me a Tekken fan. It's like the lore expands even more than the story when you have, you know, good little goodies like this. Oh yeah, listen to this little jazzy transition right here. This is really nice. It just sounds like they had so much fun making this shit. It's a really fun little track, and starts off so deep and dreamy, and then it goes somewhere very pleasant, very happy, very wonderful. I know I've noticed that lately in the house scene, because I have been scoping around, you know, new records, new releases, that this kind of sound has been coming back. So people have been taking this sound, twisting it, doing their own thing with it, and I'm really pleased to see that, especially because after the whole electro house scene from, what was it, like 2006 to 2012, minimal techno got like really huge, and it really fucking sucked. It was bad. And then you had dubstep and like the commercial EDM scene, and it fucking blew. It was just garbage. Sorry if you like that kind of shit, but it was ass to me. Most of it was just really hollow. It was just kind of dumb. I think, and especially with like the minimal techno scene and the like minimal deep house, I think people spent way too much time doing Xanax instead of acid or shrooms. So the music took a really soulless, it was just such a fucking like soulless, empty turn, and didn't sound quite as great for a while. But now the richness is kind of coming back to the sound. Rhythm is returning well to house, becoming a little more elaborate. People are paying more attention to ambience, so that's a plus. And it's thanks to pieces of music like this that we still get a good connection with electronica, and in my opinion, the direction it should be going. But next up to look at, we got the Tekken 3 battle tracks. And these were among some of the tracks that I heard on the AAA combo videos. If any of you remembers AAA's YouTube channel, he hosted a lot of the Tekken Zaibatsu combo videos, and many of these tracks were featured on there. It was many of these and the ones from the Tekken 3 Technomaniacs album. That was the first time I ever had any contact with this. But this one, the Tekken 3 Battle Tracks album, there's a lot of kooky, breakbeat, big beat inspired material on here. A little bit of drum and bass, a little bit of jungle, but it all has like a kind of jazzy texture to it. And I'll go ahead and play a little bit from this album. This is a remix of the hidden character theme for Tekken 3. So you can tell this is when Tekken started to get into that kind of gritty, big beat style sound, the kind that epitomizes Tekken 3, moving away a little bit from the kind of like acid house and trance sound that we get with Tekken 1 and Tekken 2 into a deeper and darker space. In my opinion, you get that really fucking like raw ass industrial sound. There's a bomb ass fucking house track on here too, the remix of Paul's theme. Now this bitch, I'll twerk to this shit. For real. It gives you this like, you get this like really dreamy opener right here. It kind of get you primed up, get you ready. Cute bitch vocal. Really passionate, really nice. And you know, it starts you off nice and easy. Take it nice and slow, let that fucking kick come in there. Beautiful fucking vocals, nice and fucking smooth. And then just like that, you get hit. It is just so dirty. It is so dirty. It is twerkalicious. Oh my god, it's so good. It is so good. We'll play one more from this album because it is just a really fucking good album. What was another good one? Here's what I mean by some of that kind of like funky, like it's like funk meets big beat. Some nice ass breaks in there. This is a remix of Nina's Tekken 3 theme. The title of this album is Tekken 3 Battle Tracks. You go ahead and put it up on the screen right there. So yeah, this is... It's just so damn nice. Like, yeah, don't even know what to say. Half the time, don't even know what to say. But you can tell that Tekken's sound designers, they were fucking thinking ahead. I mean, fuck the term sound designers. These are artists, you know. These are musicians, these are artists, these are producers. Like, and they are making good ass shit. And I don't think any of this material should be obscure. It definitely needs to circulate, especially amongst the Tekken community. Oh, yeah. Dennis Jennings says Ling JackIngoff, the 7 remixes was my shit. Yeah, that shit is really good. The Jelly one, I think it was called like the Jelly remix or some shit like that. Shit is fire, yeah. I think we're gonna play that because that shit is good as fuck. All right. Because yeah, we'll hit up the 7 remixes. That's gonna be the last one. We got the next album we're gonna go through is the Technomaniacs album, which actually has a house remix from one of my favorite house producers, the duo for Banana Republic. But I know I've seen this one make the round. It's Tekken Underground. Matter of fact, we'll go over the Discogs label first, I guess. So this is for Tekken 3 Technomaniacs. It was pressed on CD and initially released in Japan on March the 18th, 1998. And in the late 90s, this is where we start to get the rise of like the progressive house and big beat. Big beat was really starting to solidify around this time too. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with Prodigy and shit like that. Prodigy and fucking Crystal Method. So these were the kinds of sounds that were circulating around the time, really had a large impact on, I guess you'd say, like that, the kind of cleanliness or the raw nature of the sound. It gave everything that really fucking gritty ass texture that we get with Tekken 3. And I know that a lot of the guys who were producing music for Tekken, like Sonodigi, were probably listening to this shit. Because it's got a lot of big beat influence to it. Even the opening for this, which is supposed to be kind of like a house track, because, you know, it sounds a little bit like a house track. It even has that, like, Prodigy-esque kind of sound to it. It really does have Prodigy-esque texture, too, with that hat. Put a little bit of acid in there. And that synth is squelchy too. So it's tasty. It's like a nice chewy piece of gum. But yeah, a lot of people, when I know that I've seen a couple people who listen to this track and they always go berserk for that fucking there's like a little piano drop in here. Yeah, there it is. Everybody always likes that because it's like all glistening and grand. Glitchy said that shit make you cry. Well, bro, real house music will do that to you. You don't know how many times I'll be listening to like a really good ass mix, you know, especially house from around 97 to 99, and I'll be out on the road and I'll be looking at the sky and I actually tear up because there's something about house's ability to make a moment sublime. Yeah, house, trance, and techno, they're like the fucking trifecta. It just and nothing can replace the golden age of techno from fucking 1990 to around like 03. Golden age for techno and house. Let's see what else we got on our lists. Goddamn. Tell you what, that piano just suck you right back in. It's just too good. It's too good. Now this is the remix for King's theme on Tekken 3 Technomaniacs. This one is one of my fucking favorites. This was remixed by Banana Republic. Good ass fucking house group. Got those nice, really nice skippy hi-hats, like UK garage kind of thing going on there. And you could for sure spin this shit in a set. Like this is not video game music. This is fucking music. Okay. Let's be clear about that. You could spin this bitch in a set and people would fucking shake that ass. Like this is not dated. It has not aged a bit. Also, wanna point out too the album art, on the cover. Like it's nice. I love how Tekken 3's aesthetic played with things like trailing and grunge and light leak and shit like that. It's just so fucking nice. But yeah, look at that fucking bass line kick in. Listen to these fucking... Ooh, the hats, the claps, everything. Great. Got a little hook in there. Nice little hook in there. Also, you notice with like old school house and shit like that, the producer is eager to keep you in a moment. They're not trying to fucking shift the track, you know, to fucking random ass places like it's ADHD. Okay, they want to keep you in a mood. They want to set you in a fucking moment because they want you hypnotized. Okay, you're shaking your ass. You're not just, you know, fucking sitting down. You want to get up and move and lose yourself. That's what it's all about. There should be a little movement too where it like brings in the main part of the theme. Yeah, like right here. And there's like a little jam too, a little keyboard jam. Yeah, Jinkijima says, sometimes when I listen to Tekken music, I'm like, yeah, they would play this in a club without telling people it's Tekken, and people would see it as a new techno hit. Oh, hell yeah. Without a doubt. You know, because, like I said, this is real music, you know, it's made with real passion. And also, like, think about how exciting it must have been at the time. What kind of market campaign are you running where you're hunting down? Because like I said, when you got artists like fucking Lemon D and Banana Republic doing remixes for your game, like who are you hunting down? Like who's hunting down these people in the music scene? Because these guys were in the underground rave scene, you know, they're part of the underground house, underground fucking jungle scene. And they're getting plucked up to do remixes for Tekken tracks. For a remix album for Tekken. I mean, that's just pretty damn cool. So I often wonder, I hope somebody does like some in-depth investigation on the sound design and soundtrack history of Tekken, because I'd like to know how invested the producers were in the underground techno scene, the underground rave scene in general. Because how are you making these connections? You know, you would have had to want to know who these producers were, what they did, because they were pretty obscure back then. Like Banana Republic, pretty fucking obscure house duo. Like you wouldn't just know about them unless you'd heard of them. So let's move on to there's I guess we'll play the lay track from this album because the lay track is dirty. It has a sample that I'm familiar with because it's also used on Creamer and K's remix of EO's Rapture, which I really love a lot. I love that fucking track. But here the rhythm for it, the house rhythm for it is used here, and it's just, it makes you want to shake your ass. And you know, the track just comes in bare bones. You don't really get too much. As a matter of fact, this is kind of what you would want if, you know, you've got it on CD or vinyl, you're trying to kind of spin it into the set. You're going to want this long tail beforehand, so you got a rhythm to latch onto, so you can fucking beat match the track, get it set up, fucking put it in the mix. Oh yeah, hold up. Jin Kojima says we had whole DJs doing the Tekken soundtrack before we got these anime degenerates doing these corny Tekken 8 tracks. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's what I mean. So when hold up, because I'm about to pop off. Hang on a second. When we have these fucking these new losers that had just come into the Tekken series playing fucking Tekken 8 and shit, and they see us and like, oh, look at these unks, you know, they're bitching about things changing. It's because the shit y'all do sucks. Let me just be real quick. The shit you guys do is corny, it's garbage, it has like no depth, it's got no soul. It's because like all these like new producers were these new artists, and the new generation was kind of raised with a really commercial binky in their mouth. A lot of the deeper music that we found out about in the 90s we dug for, and they came up independently in small circles and were promoted for their worth. You didn't have these corporate media think tanks that went and sought out, you know, some like random SoundCloud rapper or whatever and then like lifted him up to like the heights of greatness. No, you had like a public consensus and regionality for targeting and promoting new music, and it's just not fucking there anymore. So it's not really about things changing so much as like they're being replaced with things that just sound like garbage. I'm all for exploring new things, and I mean, hell, even in the 90s, we were encouraged to listen to fucking new, like, wild, far out, sometimes a little ridiculously pretentious shit. And as those experimental bands would even grow and develop, they would develop a sound that was totally novel, you know, maybe like midway into their album series that sounded really awesome. So we were encouraged to branch out from the norm, or branch out from what we felt comfortable with all the time. And I never mind doing that with music, but there is some grain of objectivity to it. And when you listen back at Tekken's musical history, you can tell the fucking difference immediately. Immediately, the kind of dedication they were willing to put into it versus the kind of fucking charts, you know, they put out now. It just, it sounds trifling now. It's not as good as it used to be. It's that little hook right there. That little hook right there, that's what gets you too. It's sexy as fuck, and it's slick. And then when some of the main movements come in later in the track, it just ties it all together really nicely. Cause right now you're kind of in this like nebulous area, you know. It's like, yeah, it's groovy, it's got a nice hook to it, but you know, we're not really quite somewhere yet. There's no composition, you know. It's very simple. Oh, Glitchy, you say you want to try making some house music? It's a nice experience. I've made a couple of tracks myself, and I just want to keep going with it. I've got so much material, too, so much old material on my shelf that, you know, there's tons of shit to sample, to rework, and especially now that we have digital tools like Ableton, sky's kind of the limit. I've had fun just remixing a couple jingles for Tekken Underground. Alex said that one slapped. Lemon D Windermere mix is a gem I found a while back. Love these remixes. Yeah, dude, these are all fucking awesome. I mean, they're wonderful. And some of the albums have their weak points, but I think most of the tracks on them are just absolutely phenomenal. Glitchy said, can you send me the tracks you made? Yeah. I'll show you some of my work later, over Discord if you're on there. See that come down is just so delicious. We go right back up. And then in this track they follow up with like a couple of like off-bar breakdowns. It's so, I love this track on this album because it's so sexy. Like it's just really sexy, low-key, really subtle, really undulating. It's just delicious. I think we get another hat pattern up in here, so we progress a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Jinkajima said, yeah, it literally used to be talented underground peoples combined together in one room making Tekken games. From game developers to DJs, etc., gives a new meaning to the name Tekken Underground. Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why I named our social Tekken Underground. Because this is the soul of Tekken. This is what Tekken is. And yeah, you had all of these, it seemed like you had all of these independent artists coming together and making this fusion that turned into the aesthetic of the game. I just... Jinkajima says, I can't stop dancing my head to this. Yeah, it's fucking great. And Dennis brought up a good point. He said it's not just music. Everything's focus tested to death. Nobody has the courage to push hard into a specific niche and let the audience come to them. And yeah, you're right. One thing that we see a lot of these, even like early video game designers were doing when they were like these small independent companies, they were taking risks. They were willing to take artistic risks and to try to break ground or frontier and find their niche that way. Because they wanted to do what they were passionate about. They didn't want to just, like you said, focus test it. Test a fucking focus group, you know, pre-screen a demographic. They weren't interested in doing shit like that as much as they are now. Like, it's gotta sell. Like, it half the time for a lot of these, especially these side projects, it seemed like they just needed to get it out. Like, it just had to come out. And that's one thing I wanted to make clear by showing you guys, you know, these albums. Some people might think it's like a little cliche how I wax on about the importance of the arts, especially those of you who are in the Tekken Underground Discord server. You guys hear me talk about it. But it's really, in my opinion, I think it's what, for those of you who've joined the Underground, it's what you guys have been looking for. It's one of the things that I've been trying to highlight that everybody's missing. And as time seems to go by, everybody seems to, they feel empty, but they forget what it is they're missing. So Dennis says, you try to please everyone and wind up pleasing no one. Yeah, exactly. Although I think I'd phrase it this way. It's the kind of pleasure that we get from commercial products nowadays is much more a fleeting pleasure. It's so vapid and empty, and everybody just gloms onto it for the novelty, I think, for something to do. It doesn't endure in the mind the way that these things do. You know, like when I show you these albums and Tekken's general art style in the past, it doesn't endure in the mind as well because it just lacks passion. So, you know, yeah, they wind up pleasing everybody. I would say more they please everybody for a time, and then they just become forgotten. You know, I think things like Tekken 8, if Tekken 8 is to be remembered, it will be remembered as just the very shit game. Because I mean that thing's a PR nightmare in more ways than one. You know, Harada tries to pawn it off on social media and shit like that. I don't think that's the case either. I think the only reason why the game is successful is just because Tekken is a big company and it possesses novelty. You know, that's about it. If they were to release a game of the same caliber in the days of Tekken 5, that shit would just go in the toilet. I mean, there'd just be no hope. We're going to move on to the last of our little expose here, the Tekken 3 7 remixes. And these were released 19th of August, 98. So I believe just a little... Yeah, just a bit after the Tekken 3 Technomaniacs album was released. And this too was released in Japan. Ken Ishii is featured on here. Ken Ishii is a really fucking bomb-ass Japanese techno artist. If you guys don't know about him, you should check out some of his work. I mean, as a matter of fact, I believe I heard a track of his first, once again, on one of AAA's combo videos, Tekken Zaibatsu combo videos, and it was Ken Ishii's Enhanced, and that track was badass. You know what? I'm gonna pull that up real quick. This was used in a Jin combo video, I think, for his busted down forward 1-2 for Tekken 3. Shit's nice. Do you hear that beat too? That's Detroit techno. It's like a Detroit techno influence on this track. A little bit of dirtiness coming up right here. Also, you notice these rhythms in Y2K and in the 90s, they made you want to fucking pop it. Like, wasn't no like boring kick drum EDM shit. Like, these are rhythms that make you want to fucking shake your ass. Get a little movement in this track real quick. And for those of you who are wondering, this is Ken Ishii's Future in Light. just beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. Yeah, Jin Kojima says, this sounds more future than anything that's coming out these days. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, for sure. For fucking sure. It really fucking timeless. Shit sounds like it's from 3045. From 3045 in 4 dimensions. Yeah, there you go. But he did a track on this album. Let me see here. Is a pretty fun remix of Jin's theme, I believe. Yeah. Keiichi Jin Kazama, Kenichi versus Captain Funk remix. Yeah, it's that one. I didn't put this on my playlist, but you know what, fuck it. We'll pull it up anyway, because it's a fun little track. The other ones are a bit more serious, and I think better represent the album. But the album starts with this, it's its opening track, and it's still a lot of fun. You know, let's face it. Let's be honest. Hey, yo, the Dr. Robotnik sample. It's a nice little groove in there. Just, these are so fun. Like, all these remixes are just so fucking fun. Enzo Redento says, sup boys, bumping this while traveling for work and some evening studying, keep the party going. Fuck yeah, Fratello, you know we're keeping that party going. Because even on the fucking live streams and shit like that, I'm always bumping some house. I should definitely include these tracks in our typical battle mixes for the Tekken Underground live streams. Yeah, badass, really packed track. Kind of has like a Crystal Method thing going on with it. Like I said, that big beat influence is like really prevalent. Enzola says, do you have all these as a separate playlist? Would like to just have them on hand for studying and working out? Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna start doing some playlist dumps in the music dump channel on Tekken Underground. I'm also going to feature a link to this playlist that we've gone through on this stream in the description for the live stream. So if any of you guys really want to check out these tracks, and of course check out the whole albums that they're on, and hopefully even buy some of these because they're worthy of being purchased and preserved, we'll have some information about that in the description so you can really fucking rock out. Alright, let's see what we got next up on our list. So this one, before we get to the, I know somebody mentioned the Xiao Yu Jelly Jelly remix. We'll do that afterward, but this Ooh-wee, baby. This is the it's the GOAT. It is the GOAT. Hold up, let me press fucking play. Now this track has gotten exhausted by me. You want to talk about car rides on the highway doing 110 miles an hour? Yeah. This one has gotten wore out in my CD player. Bro, you want to talk about filth? This is filth. It is just... It's dirty. It's dirty. It makes you want to twerk. Oh my god, yeah. It's like meat and potatoes slathered all over a hooker's titties. That's what this is. It's dark, it's sexy, it's fucking hot. And listen to these fucking hats that come in. Oh my god. This track has been fucking worn out by me. I never get tired of it. It is so fucking nice. Like, you want house, this is house. Dark, gritty, fucking dirty. It's swingy. It's thick. It's fucking hypnotic and repetitive. It just... Oh my god. You want to get possessed by the rhythm. Lord have mercy. So good. So good. Glitchy said, Verchiel is the Gordon Ramsay of house and techno. Yeah, you bet your sweet ass. I have hours, hundreds of hours. I have weeks upon weeks worth of fucking house, techno, trance, ambient shit. Just tons and tons of it. Digital and physical copies. Got shit on vinyl. I mean, it's right where I'm at home. And like I said, the fact that this musical scene was married with Tekken was like a match made in heaven for me, because it's just everything I like. You got a game where you fucking whoop somebody's ass in a back alley, and you got the best fucking music to do it to, and that's what it's all about. That's what it is fucking all about, dude. Moving to the last track on our list, the Ling Xiaoyu Jelly Jelly remix, which is as dark as it is playful. Got a nice long build up, but really fucking delicious synths to sink your teeth into. So I mean, just careening through the action like a meteor through space. And it's like, you know, like what really is this? Is it techno? Is it big beat? Is it breaks? You know, is it acid jazz? Like, that's what I mean. Like, what is it? What is it? It's just good. That's what it is. Glitchy said, what is the sample saying? I don't know, it kind of sounds like that bitch says Ling Xiaoyu has a giant panda. It is a track for Xiaoyu after all, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Jinkajima says it's Tekken bonus greatness. It really is. It's just, like I said, speechless. It's great. And it holds its own in, it could hold its own in a set, for real. It gets you fucking moving, because it is what it is. It's electronica, it's fucking dance music, and that's exactly what it sounds like. It does not sound like video game music, not by a long shot. It's a real creation. Enzo Redento says, I feel the same way about some of the Unreal Tournament 99 tracks. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Especially the fucking drum and bass tracks on there are like really, really good. I've listened to a couple of them. I don't even play the fucking game, but I love the soundtrack. That's the thing too. You had a lot of games or movies that would come out back then, and even if you didn't particularly like the game or the flick, sometimes the soundtrack was just so fucking good. It was worth bumping, you know? But yeah, just kind of a recap what we went through. So there was the NGO release. What does that stand for, as a matter of fact? Find out. I'd be surprised with like Namco something something. Namco Games something. I have no idea. I guess it's for producer Yoshie Arakawa. But there's the NGO Tekken release of Tekken on vinyl on LP in 1996. It had awesome fucking jungle mixes on there by fucking Dubtronics, Lemon D, and T-Power. There's the Tekken 2 Striker Ranges album that has some really nice, deep techno, kind of trancey remixes of you know, fight stage themes for Tekken 2. There's the Tekken 3 battle tracks, which are really fucking funky. Lots of fucking jungle breakbeat influences in there. Really nice. You had those really fucking bomb-ass house tracks on the Tekken 3 Technomaniacs album. And then, of course, just the crazy industrial techno. It's like, what do you call it? Fucking big beat? Do you call it breaks? Yeah, they put the list of hardcore on there. Some of these the tracks on the albums, maybe. But then you had the fucking bomb ass, you know, house track. That house track that we played was a remix of Dr. B, the Akio Millenpak remix. I mean, that shit was just fucking great. It was fire. The 7 Remixes album, really great stuff. And like I said, all of these being made during the golden age of electronica, you know, from 1990 to 2003, just absolutely the golden age of electronica. And right in the center too is where you get the cream of the crop. 95, 96, 97, 98. Those years are just, you know, timeless as fuck. So I'm glad that we were able to do a recap of these albums. Hopefully they get a lot more popularity, because I'd like to, you know, I'd like for people to listen to them, see what they think, see how they feel about it. Oh yeah, Jinkajima mentioned the Tekken 1 bonus tracks. Yeah, the remix of Night in Chicago on that is fucking fire. That extended mix of Night in Chicago. I can't remember what the name of it was. Glitchy said, did Tekken Tag or Tekken 4 have any remix albums? See, Tekken Tag on the console OST, they did do a release, or no, they didn't release a remix album, but they had remixes at the foot of the album. I don't know if Tekken 4 had a remix album. I'm pretty sure it did not. I can do some digging on that later to see if one appeared, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. I think the habit of, excuse me, the habit, or I don't even know what to call it, habit or marketing strategy of putting out remix albums kind of dwindled away, which sucks. But I do know that on some subsequent soundtracks, I think Tag 2 had like a fan remix competition, whatever remixes won were featured on the official soundtrack album, like at the foot of it. I think they did that a couple of times. I'm not sure if they did it for Tekken 7 or Tekken 8. I haven't taken a look into those, but I don't think there were any other peripheral remix albums. Like, take for example for Tekken 3, what did we have? We had fucking I think we had 3. Yeah, for Tekken 3, we had 3 remix albums that came out. So they're certainly not doing anything like that anymore, and they were all beyond extended play. I mean, you know, this album has fucking 7 tracks. This one's got 7 tracks, and you know, this one battle tracks. This one's got fucking 13. So they took it seriously. It wasn't just a couple of remixes that you had like tacked onto the official soundtrack. They went whole hog. And the remix vinyl that we have for Tekken 1 right here, this is on top of the remixes that were included in the soundtrack release. You know, same thing. Did Tekken 2 have? I don't think Tekken 2 had any like footer remixes. I think it was only Tekken 1 that had footer remixes. But some of these remixes, I think almost all of them, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, they were not featured on the Tekken official soundtrack. I don't even think, I'm gonna have to do some digging to fucking find it anyway. The Tekken 1 soundtrack, that list, but I'll investigate it myself later and see if there's anything else, but I don't think that there is. But yeah, I guess this is just a tradition, I guess you could call it, because it went on for 3 games. It went on for Tekkens 1, 2, and 3. It ended with Tag 1. Because Tag 1 ended with remixes at the bottom, and I guess that was the end of that. So no more remix albums. It would be nice if they could do something like this today, but if Namco could, but I don't think that they'd treat it with the same soul as they did back then. So, you know, who knows? Hopefully in the future we'll see them return to some of these art styles that they've left behind, not only in fucking game design and in, you know, cinematic design, in advertising, but also in music. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to cover all of that because I don't really see anybody talk about it too much. Fuck it. Does anybody want to do a set? You know, I'm totally down to do a set. I'll drop an ad in the underground Discord server and let's see if we can get a fucking lobby going. If anybody wants to do lobbies, you want to play Tekken 2, Tekken 3, I am down to do it. Since that'll conclude our informative portion of the Mothership episode today. And I would make these Mothership episodes a little more frequent, but I've been so fucking busy between life, work, and prep and shit for the underground that I haven't had time to develop a solid itinerary for you guys, and I'm gonna try to work a little more on that. But yeah, let me see if we can get some games going up in this motherfucker. Daddy loves acid. There we go. That's nice. That's the stuff. All right, let's play some fucking tech.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight. one, fight. Round two, fight. Round three, fight. Round four, fight. Round one, fight. Round two, fight.
Yeah, y'all know I'm locked in. I'm reading the chat though, and this shit's hilarious. What did Jack do, man? He stepped into the ring. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I don't know, when I sit down to play Tekken, even if it's just with like a friend or whatever, I like to lock in. I like to feel the game, listen to the music, and read the opponent. And I want people to fight me at my best too. I try to be respectful by giving it my all. But yeah, 134 Tekken 3 Museum is in the fucking house right now, and bro, I will say this publicly, I love you. You are my Brian daddy, and I just adore you. Thank you, random fan number 2402815. Yeah, if any of you guys have not checked out Tekken 3 Museum, you need to do that. It is a repository for the best Tekken 3 content on the web. Very resourceful, and this man is honestly one of the world's best Tekken 3 players, hands down. We love him. He's a valued part of the underground, and yeah. He drops by, and it's like a blessing.
Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight. Round 1. Round 2. Round 3. And up. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight. Round 1. Fight. Round 4. Fight. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight. Round 1. Round 2. Fight.
It's serious lag. No clue why. Big ping. Big pingus. Jack, bro. Stop downloading so much porn.
Nina Williams wins. Round 3. Fight. 3, fight! Round 4, fight! Final round, fight!
So close, but so far.
Fight!
Jack, you said you weren't downloading porn, you're downloading the Bible. Well, damn.
Round
Them books taking up a lot of bandwidth. You said Bible with pictures. God.
round 4, fight!
Phaser said, bro's downloading Jesus from Nazareth. Oh, shit.
Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight! Round 3. Fight. Yoshi.
I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 more, and then I've got to head out.
Round 1.
I've already postponed my arrival to work so we could do these sets. Because, you know what? Let's be real, they can wait. Tekken first. Tekken first, bills later, right?
Time up. Yoshi. Round 2. Fight.
You like my oh, you said your pad's dying? Oh shit. Oh god. You just can't do anything? Is it still dying? If it's dying and you can't play, I'll call the set. Like, that's not fair. My controller works, yours doesn't. Yeah, your pad keeps dying, doesn't it? That's unfortunate.
Time up. Yoshi. Round 3. Fight.
Yeah, it's alright, bro. We can call the set. I had fun, though, and, obviously, we'll be fucking streaming more games later anyway. Maybe tonight, I'll have a Tag 1 set lined up with Shadarian, and I want to get fucking deep in the cut with him, because whenever we do sets, especially when we do Tag 1, it looks crazy on the screen. So yeah, I mean, I guess this is gonna conclude our little Mothership episode 4. And it was fucking awesome having you guys here to talk to and to chill and play some fucking Tekken with, as usual. Like I said, we'll be doing live streams later. We got that tournament coming up this Saturday for Tekken 5 DR, so you can find more information about that in the description below. So we'll be offering information about that. Gonna put a link to the playlist that we went through today, all that shit. And yeah, can't wait for the official Tag 1 drop. If Ren could put on his big boy pants and stop waging fights with the underground crew, that would be awesome, because at the end of the day, we want to play some Tekken, we want to have a lot of fun, and we want to promote these games and put the scene back in the limelight. That's the most important part. So until then, though, we will be doing some Tag 1 sessions on MAME, and everybody's free to hit us up, join us. We'll be streaming some sessions, getting ready, getting trained up, getting people trained up to start playing when it drops with rollback netcode on Arc. So we'll be playing it on MAME and on fucking Parsec and shit like that. But yeah, I guess peace out, Underground Soul, and I will see you guys for the next stream. It's been fun as fuck.